Have you ever sat under a ceiling fan on a sweltering summer day and wondered why, even though the air around you feels just as hot, you suddenly experience relief? It's a curious sensation that seems almost magical, yet the truth is deeply rooted in the simple, elegant laws of physics that Richard Feynman so often illuminated with childlike wonder. You see, fans do not actually lower the temperature of the room. The air passing over you carries no hidden cooling power. The thermometer in your room would stubbornly remain the same, indifferent to the spinning blades above. What the fan does instead is something subtler, something more intimately tied to your body and your perception of comfort. When the fan moves, it sweeps away the thin, invisible layer of humid, warm air clinging to your skin. This layer is created by the heat your body radiates, and it acts like a miniature barrier, slowing the natural process by which your body loses heat. In other words, your own body warmth can become trapped in the very air surrounding you, insulating you against your environment. The movement of air from the fan disrupts this barrier, refreshing the air next to your skin and allowing evaporation to do its work. Evaporation is the silent hero in this story, the process by which sweat, that seemingly bothersome liquid we produce when we are hot, absorbs energy from our skin as it transitions from liquid to vapor. This energy, called latent heat, leaves your skin cooler than before. Feynman would marvel at the poetry of this everyday phenomenon, how your body, an intricate machine honed by millions of years of evolution, employs a process so simple, yet so profoundly effective, to regulate temperature. And the beauty is that it works best when the air moves. That movement, created by the simple rotation of fan blades, accelerates evaporation, carries heat away, and in doing so, tricks your mind into feeling cool. It's not magic. It's understanding. It's the way nature's rules, when observed carefully, reveal themselves in the mundane moments of life. So the next time you feel relief under the whirring fan, know that you are witnessing physics in action. Your own body interacting with the environment, using air as a medium to perform the timeless act of cooling itself. And yet, even as you feel this comfort, there is a deeper lesson hidden within this ordinary experience. We often assume that change requires something dramatic, a revolutionary invention, a sudden breakthrough. But sometimes, the profound is hiding in plain sight, in the gentle flow of air, in the evaporation of sweat, in the subtle interplay of heat and motion. The fan reminds us, if we pay attention, that understanding the simplest things deeply can reveal the extraordinary. It challenges us to look closer, to ask why, to explore the world not merely by accepting appearances, but by unraveling the mechanisms beneath. And it is precisely this spirit, the spirit that Richard Feynman championed, that transforms everyday curiosity into genuine insight. If this first paragraph meets your expectations, I can move on to paragraph 2, building suspense and diving deeper into air circulation, heat transfer, and practical fan use. Do you want me to continue with that? Now let us pause and consider the air itself, the medium that carries this invisible relief to our skin. Air is so familiar, so ordinary, that we rarely stop to think about its power. Yet it is the silent conductor orchestrating this dance of cooling and comfort. When a ceiling fan spins, it creates currents that sweep across the room, moving stagnant air that has grown warm and heavy from the heat your body and the sun have contributed. But here lies the suspense. Even though the fan is spinning, the room itself remains the same temperature. That might sound disappointing at first, as if the fan's work is in vain. Yet this is precisely where the subtle brilliance of physics comes into play, the kind Richard Feynman would insist we notice. The fan does not cool the room. It cools you, individually and intimately, by facilitating heat transfer from your body into the moving air. Your skin, warmer than the surrounding environment, radiates heat. Normally, without air movement, this heat would linger near you, trapped in a thin layer of warm air. The fan tears this layer away, replacing it continuously with slightly cooler air from the surroundings. It is this constant replacement that allows your body to shed excess energy efficiently, accelerating the natural rhythm of thermoregulation that has sustained life for millennia. Think about it. Your comfort depends not on the power of the fan alone, but on the interaction between your body and the environment, an elegant cooperation between motion and heat. Now here comes the fascinating twist. The process is nonlinear, unpredictable in the small details, and beautiful in its complexity. The speed of the fan, the humidity of the air, the amount of sweat on your skin, all these factors interact to determine how cool you feel. There is a lesson hidden here, beyond temperature or comfort. Life often works in systems much like this, subtle forces, interacting invisibly, producing results that seem almost miraculous. And yet, if you understand the principles at work, the miracle becomes comprehensible. A fan, a room, your body, each alone is ordinary. Together, through movement, evaporation, and heat transfer, they become something extraordinary, an illustration of how the world's hidden mechanisms quietly perform wonders we often take for granted. The suspense lies in this invisible complexity. You can feel relief without seeing the cause. You can experience comfort without measuring it. And in recognizing this, you glimpse a truth Feynman would love. Understanding the underlying principles transforms the mundane into the profound. The gentle swirl of air above you is not merely a convenience. It is a lesson in physics, in curiosity, in paying attention to what is real. And as you sit there, feeling cooler despite unchanged temperatures, you begin to appreciate that every element in this system has a role. Every tiny interaction contributes, and nothing is wasted. There is poetry in this process, the way motion becomes relief, the way evaporation becomes sensation, the way knowledge transforms perception. And when you begin to notice such interactions in the smallest corners of your life, you realize that wisdom often hides in places that seem trivial at first glance. If this paragraph works for you, I can move on to paragraph 3, concluding the video with practical insights on fan use, tying it all together, and ending with the call to action. Should I proceed with paragraph 3? As we arrive at the final piece of this puzzle, it is time to consider how we can take this understanding and turn it into practical wisdom. Knowing that a fan does not lower the room temperature, yet profoundly affects how we perceive heat, opens a door to smarter, more intentional use of this humble appliance. Imagine a summer afternoon, the sun beating down relentlessly, and you turning on a ceiling fan. Now, instead of letting it spin mindlessly, think about how the airflow interacts with your body. Positioning the fan to maximize direct contact with exposed skin increases evaporation, the same principle that Richard Feynman would have delighted in explaining with both rigor and playful curiosity. Your sweat evaporates faster, heat leaves your skin more efficiently, and your subjective sense of coolness rises dramatically. But the lesson does not stop at simple placement. Fans can also be used to circulate air throughout a room, reducing pockets of stagnant heat and keeping the environment more uniform. Even in spaces without air conditioning, thoughtful fan use can create a comfort zone, leveraging physics instead of relying solely on energy-intensive cooling. And here lies another hidden insight. The effectiveness of the fan is intimately linked to humidity. On dry days, evaporation is rapid, and the fan's impact is immediate and noticeable. On humid days, the process slows, and the cooling effect diminishes, reminding us that nature is rarely absolute, and understanding context is essential. This is the elegance Feynman often celebrated, the way universal principles operate with local nuances, how a single concept can manifest differently under varying conditions. And perhaps the most inspiring aspect of this lesson is the broader metaphor it offers. Just as a fan does not change the room's temperature, but improves our comfort through movement and interaction, so too can small, well-directed actions in life produce profound results. We need not wait for the world to change around us. We can adjust our approach, amplify our interactions, and harness the subtle forces already at work. There is empowerment in this realization, a reminder that knowledge is not merely a collection of facts, but a tool to transform experience. And so, every time you feel the gentle breeze of a fan against your skin, consider it a microcosm of life itself. The interplay of forces, the invisible currents shaping outcomes, and the potential of careful observation to unlock new possibilities. By understanding evaporation, airflow, and heat transfer, you not only make your immediate environment more comfortable, but also cultivate a mindset attuned to subtlety, curiosity, and the beauty of underlying mechanisms. These principles extend far beyond a room with a ceiling fan. They invite us to look deeper, to notice patterns, to apply knowledge creatively, and to appreciate the profound within the ordinary. So, as you embrace this insight, allow it to guide both your practical actions and your intellectual curiosity, appreciating that even simple tools, when understood, reveal lessons far greater than themselves. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.